Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I'm Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And turning the tables is normally it's early for Ferris and I. Now it's very early for Ron. I believe it's 1:30 a.m. all the way out in Beijing.
That's true. What's happening? 1:30 in the morning. Suffering for my art.
Well, that's, pardon me, that is what the festive fixtures will get you. As we have blown through so many freaking games, my fantasy team completely falling off because you're trying to pick who you think is going to do well, but they're subbing the teams around so much that it's just like, oh man, it's brutal right now. And of course, every manager in the Premier League is complaining about this festive.
Of course,
fixture.
It's like just per course, you know.
Yeah, the Wolves, their manager, he's flipping out about things. It's all a bit of a mess.
But they do it like it's a surprise. Like the doesn't happen every freaking year for them.
Exactly.
Like it's the same. It's been happening for the past, I don't know, several years that they have the most games. So it's coming.
It might even help you to start complaining about it before the season starts if you want to try to change anything.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Everybody has a short memory. They're like, oh, Christmas time sucks and this is so bad. And then all of a sudden, Christmas and New Year's are gone. Somebody wins the trophy and no one's ever heard about it again.
Well,
but you're right. It is a lot like Groundhog Day, though. Yeah.
It's the same story every year. And now Ferris and I were looking back at our last couple of Boxing Day pods and realizing that not last year, but the year before, it was very different because all the games basically, it was kind of almost like the last of Premier League. So many of them at the same time. And now they've been spreading those games around because we got to.
Yeah, it's weird that I thought it was weird, too, that they staggered them so much.
Well, Man United kicking off now, actually, against Newcastle as we record this.
Yep, they're 4 minutes in.
So we had our 7:30 and 10 a.m. games get wrapped up. And then at 3 o'clock, there's Liverpool-Leicester, which that's probably the game of the day.
That's going to be a hell of a game. Yep.
I think that will establish not can Leicester catch up to Liverpool, but can Leicester hold on to a second place? And I don't even mean they have to win against Liverpool. Just if they can show up and play really well, then I think they got a good strong shot of holding into those Champions League spots when it's all said and done.
Probably true.
Now, if you listen to the pod from the beginning, I'm a big fan of the Boxing Day, and I really like to hunt down fun Christmas beers, which I had kind of put that off a little late. And I said, but I've got this time early Christmas Eve. I'm going to go take care of it. And then I opened my garage door, and where there's a gas furnace and a gas water heater, on the morning of Christmas Eve, where I was all excited to get out and go do some fun shopping for beer, and I smelled a gas leak. So that's what I dealt with on Christmas Eve morning, was a gas leak that was in our house. Desperately, and then there was a work emergency.
God almighty.
So I had to roll into work. Well, my wife is like spraying soapy water all over the trying to find the leak. Ended up not being a very serious leak, and it covered under warranty because it went into my furnace unit that was just installed a couple years ago. So it all ended up working out, but it worked out kind of late afternoon and shot most of the day. So that is to be said that Ferris is really on top of the Christmas beer this go round.
I did. I took a little trip for it as well.
Cookie Puss?
What's that?
Cookie Puss? That's what
it's not Cookie Puss, Ron. I am sorry to tell you, and you would, if I did have it, you'd probably be glad that you are hundreds of thousands of miles away, because that beer was complete shit. I actually, if Blake, you got it over there? If you want to pass it on over.
That's right. I forgot I'm holding it.
Yep. Right. I actually took a short drive over to the coast, the East Coast to be exact, over in Melbourne. And we went over there with a friend of the pod, Phil. We went over there to try this beer and then to try to plan our upcoming trip to England in April. And if any of you out there have any tips, tricks, ideas, easy ways to travel through England, easy way to get tickets, anything along those lines, please don't hesitate to reach out to us on any of these socials or on my socials. That'd be much appreciated. But anyway, so we went and we planned. We started to kind of timeline. Here's the days we'll be there. Here's where we want to be. Here's what time we have to get there, and so on and so forth. So as we did that, we enjoyed a seasonal brew from Intercostal Brewing Company.
Ooh.
And the seasonal brew is called Nogged Out. And it has a picture on the can of an elf on the shelf passed out from drinking too much booze. And it's eggnog imperial cream ale.
The picture is so good of this little elf on the shelf. Just,
it's a tall boy can.
he's got like the 3 bottles with the XXX written on it, and he's just slumped against the wall with booze dribbling down his little white collar. And he's got his rod and no feet and no hands, you know, like on the shelf.
So Nogged Out. It's an imperial cream ale. It's an eggnog imperial cream ale. It's 8.5% ABV, 30 on the IBUs. It is an eggnog-inspired imperial cream ale made with nutmeg, vanilla beans, and a touch of cinnamon. Holiday eggnog without the egg.
I really like the drink local that you're so used to on these things, but for the coastal, it's drink local coastal.
Yeah,
Nice.
and they're a very well-known brewery on that coast. A lot of good beers. I also had a one called Nosferatu, which was let me see if I can find it, if it's still on tap there. It is a chocolate caramel imperial brown ale, and that one was fantastic as well. They had a bunch of just fun styles and a lot of strong beers, but very, very good tasting beers.
I don't know. Now, granted, it's called an imperial cream ale, but I don't know that I've had a cream ale that was over 5%. I mean, 8.5% is
Pretty strong.
a lot. For
It doesn't. It doesn't. You don't taste the 8.5%. But I thought this would be the perfect one to have on the pod for our Boxing Day special.
That's perfect.
And we have.
And luckily, I got my gas leak fixed, so I didn't like this elf knocked out, passed out
Yeah, exactly.
the wall.
Because that would not have been good. We wouldn't have had a Boxing Day special if you were passed out like
Oh man,
the.
what do you got
Elf
your
on the
way,
shelf.
Ron?
So I have a Belgian beer and I'm probably completely ruining this name, from the Dubuisson Brewery, which was founded in 1769. So it's almost 250 years old, which is pretty awesome.
I think you said that right.
And maybe I have a Belgian strong dark ale. ABV of 12%. What? It's a Christmas beer called Bush de Noël. It was introduced in 1991 to respond to the demands of consumers who wanted something special for the end of year celebration. The beer has all the luxurious characteristics of Bush Noël. It's a copper color with a strong, rich, balanced aroma. But thanks to its in-bottle re-fermentation, it is endowed with a powerful taste palette and slightly higher alcohol volume of 12%.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
you're gonna take a 12% or a 1:45 a.m. All right,
That boy. That'll put you to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
all right.
Can't wait.
Shall we crack these bad boys open? I'm excited for this knocked
Sure.
out
Sure.
because I love eggnog,
good.
and I almost brought in some Christmas vacation nog cups with some bourbon to shake things up. But this
You
is
hang
perfect.
on to that Christmas vacation thought, though. Just you wait there, feller.
It's our Boxing Day special. If we don't talk about Christmas vacation at some
The
point,
headlines may or may not have revolved around just the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
perfect.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, my God, guys. I think I have to evacuate my house. Oh, my God, the smell on this thing.
This cream ale. Ooh. Oh, I smell the eggnog now. It's definitely, I can smell the higher alcohol content. Not like in a too pungent way, but I love we had to pour these in some nice tulip glasses.
Ron, what did you say that
That's
yours
what I have.
what was again?
It's a Belgian strong dark ale.
You like those Belgiums?
Yeah, they're all over down here.
Yeah,
And
every
this
time
was
you've
the
sent
only-
a picture of your beer selections, it's at like the local stores. It's so good.
Yeah. You guys got to check the Untapped. So on my Christmas Eve, we had a bunch of friends over, and I posted like, I don't know, 4 beers that I'd never had before, including one called Valkyria, which was a Viking beer. It's a wit, and it's got this picture of this badass Valkyrie on the label. You guys got to get on the Untapped and check that out.
Huh.
Another folks should follow our Untapped because you find all sorts of cool beers we're finding. All right, gents, here we go.
That was...
All right.
Cheers. Oh, watch out, buddy. Don't pour that beer on your computer.
Try not to.
Happy Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
It tastes like eggnog beer.
That's not your normal eggnog.
But in the case, but unlike a cookie push situation, that's a good thing.
Ooh.
You okay there, Rob?
Ooh. So this 12% burns a little like whiskey. Ooh.
Ooh. Well, yeah, it's 12% there.
So it's got a nice malty flavor with a bit of fruit in the very beginning, and then it just burns its way down.
So, perfect. Yeah. Ferris just found a towel. He had some problems getting his beer lifted up to cheers.
Yeah, it didn't all fit in because the cans that we have. Sorry to kind of cut you off there, Ron. Is a tall boy pint, and it didn't quite all fit in the tulip glass that I have. So, got a little flowy.
It's all right. Studio smells like beer and eggnog now. This is really good.
It's surprising. It takes a couple of sips to really get into it. The first time you're like, ooh. But after you have a couple of sips, you're like, oh, this is actually
tastes like Christmas.
Quite delightful, and it tastes like alcoholic eggnog.
Well, Ron, you aren't here, but I think I may have found a sour you might like.
Oh,
and it's
there's no such thing.
I was about to say.
It's what I wanted to bring in, but I did not get a chance to. So on local beer news, the Claremont Brewing Company, I finally had a chance to go to. I don't know if you've been yet, Ferris.
No, I haven't.
The food is freaking fantastic, and their beers are really good. And they had a seasonal cranberry sour that was awesome because the sour was only from the fruit itself, not the beer being overly soured. I don't know if that makes sense. So it tasted again like Christmas. Like if you like some cranberry sauce, like with your turkey or whatever, that's what it tastes like. Like it's like Christmas. Oh, so good. But yeah, when you come back down, Ron, we got to go to Claremont Brewing Company. Oh man, they're good. And they got a smoker
Sounds
there.
like a plan.
And they dip this smoked chicken dip.
Ooh.
Oh, son. Good.
Smoked
All right.
chicken dip.
Mm-hmm.
You had me at chicken.
All right. Well, I want to plow into the Premier League, but I just got a text from my wife. There's a gigantic bag next to the studio table, and apparently there's something for each of us in this Christmas bag.
Oh,
Oh,
so exciting!
presents.
It's
I know.
the most
So here we go.
wonderful time of the
It's a
year.
really big bag, though.
It is a really big freaking bag. Is it a playset?
I don't know. All right, you know what? Slide it your way. You've left stuff on your side.
It's the Brewtiful playset.
I'll try to take some pictures.
Oh, what the hell is this? Okay.
She said there's one for each of you. You don't need labels. So,
Okay, it's some sort of like racking system.
yeah, I'll get some pictures so I can send it to Ron.
Yeah, some sort of. Okay, it's like almost like a coat hanger.
Yeah, because it's tall. It's about a 2 foot tall bag. You can definitely hear some
Jesus.
metal in there.
Jeez, that's okay. Everybody's okay.
Wait. Is that for hanging scarves?
I was about to say. I think this is yes. It's like a coat hanger with these very rustic, I guess, looking hooks that swoop up and then down and loop up. I think it's for all of our scarves that we have just laying around.
There's
here.
3 of them.
There's 3 of them.
That would be so nice.
Ron, I just sent you.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're for. Scarves. Oh, Newcastle scored. Piss off.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.
I just sent you a picture, Ron. That's awesome. It's such a unique looking hook on the thing. Yeah,
damn it.
I just texted my wife. I said, "Scarf hangers? ? That's awesome." And she said, "Yes." Now clean up your damn scarf.
We have scars on the guitar rack over there.
She came in.
We have so many scars on the.
She came in.
Oh, that's funny.
Last night, and she goes, "How do you and Ferris even see each other?"
That's true.
Scarves everywhere. That
Yeah,
is freaking awesome.
Our microphones, when I was in the studio, it looks like a Steven Tyler concert.
Yes, exactly. They all of ours look like it. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 scarves on mine at the moment. Ron, you got 1, 2, 3 on yours. Blake has another 3 or 4 on his.
It's like, yeah.
And then we have another 1, 2, 3, 4 over there, I think. So we got ourselves some scarves.
We have some work to do to clean all this up. Well, that was awesome.
Tell your wife I said thank you.
Will do.
And you can ship it to China for me.
Yeah, we got that covered.
Yeah.
Because you also have a lot of scarves there, we noticed.
Oh my God. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 15 here.
I mean, can you ever have enough? And the answer to that is no.
But I'll tell you, gentlemen, this beer bites back. Woo! It's a thick, bready beer.
This beer is a beer for laying down and avoiding.
Man, it's good. It's got a good balance of malt, but oh boy,
I just got your picture of the beer, which again, you are the better photographer of all of us.
Yeah, we haven't even tried one yet.
It looks. I've seen that one and not tried it yet, but I know that I can get that here. I'll have to give that a try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Oh man! Hey, Merry Christmas, bro! We got scarf racks finally. We've been talking about it for a while. It's pretty awesome.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
That's so great.
It is. It's awesome.
So
thank you, Kara.
Shall we move on to first up? We're going to talk about Bournemouth Arsenal.
Sure.
Ferris, do you have a headline before we get into it? I don't know how you want to do this.
Oh, yeah, well, actually, we could. Well, do you want to say the result first?
Well, so at Bournemouth, Mikel Arteta, his first.
Well, okay. Yes.
Yeah, his first time as manager at a game.
Okay, you can stop right there.
All right.
It's part of the headline. These headlines, as I
did I give the result?
Yeah, no. Let's stop right there.
Okay.
These headlines are geared towards National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. There's only a handful of games. I put it together. Yeah, right? Like, we've never referenced that on the pod before. So I did the best I could in the short period of time that I had. But I think I'm going to end on a bang, and I'll probably start off on a bang. So,
awesome.
For Mikel Arteta, it's the annual one-year manager sacking at the Arsenal Football Club. Gooners, that's the gift that keeps on giving Arsenal TV the whole year.
Yeah. Arsenal Twitter, and I haven't watched Arsenal Fan TV yet, but 1-1 draw in a game that is... Well, look, Arteta had 3 practice sessions. That's all he's had.
Well, he watched the team
He did start
on the weekend, right?
Yeah. He watched the team on the weekend.
And what did you guys draw? When? What did you guys do then?
That was another annoying draw.
Well, it wasn't another draw.
No. Was that Man City? That was us getting... No. He didn't come in yet. That was a...
Now, who the hell did you guys play on the weekend? Everton.
Yes. That was the Everton draw before Ancelotti had been announced.
Correct.
So we'll
get to that as well.
He had 3 practice sessions. He started Ozil, he started Lacazette, and Aubameyang, which was interesting because that was something Emery didn't want to do. We played better and had better possession, but still only managed a draw. That's kind of
Yeah, I didn't catch a whole lot of the game. I did catch it on radio a lot of the second half, and it seems like you guys dominated the second half quite well, and the Aubameyang goal was certainly in the cards and coming in the second half. What I think is a little... It's going to take time, right? It's going to take time.
I'm not worried.
Right. It's going to take time for him to get in and really evaluate the club and realize who's the deadwood there? Who does he want to keep? Who does he want to ship off? Who wants to play for Arsenal? And who wants to play the style that he wants to play, which is going to be a more expansive, quick moving of the ball type style. That's what he did when he was at Arsenal, and that's kind of what Pep does.
And that's how the Aubameyang goal happened.
Right. And with a little bit of flash, a little bit of pizzazz to the passing and the build-up in play. Right. That's what Arsenal has been known for.
And Ozil had the most created chances for the day. So in a way, that's already...
Which he needed to.
Yes.
Because he has been inconsistent at best lately. And he was a big question, at least in the press, for whether Arteta would, get him motivated or just kind of put him aside. So
he got subbed off and had a little bit of a tiff, right? Or not a tiff, but
that was the previous game.
I thought he was subbed off in this game and didn't seem too thrilled with the...
He freaked out in the last game pretty hard. This one wasn't so bad. I mean, in comparison, this one wasn't so bad. But I guess the upside to Arteta coming in is Arteta and Ozil play together, so he can just be like, dude,
bro,
can we do this?
There's a United goal. Piss off. Fuck off, Newcastle. 1-1. Anthony Martial. Tony!
Hey, that's good, because I got him on my fantasy.
Do you really?
I'm about 2 minutes behind you.
Are you? Oh, sorry.
No, he just scored for me.
Yeah, watching the build-up play. Who put the ball in?
Well, it's I do think
a strike.
Good layoff.
A good
strike.
A good zip from distance. Keep put it into the net because he couldn't really hold on to it.
Goalie should have done better, but I'll take it.
Hey, speaking of goalies, that's why Arsenal managed to draw.
He's been you're absolutely. He's been having a hell of a season. I don't like his short sleeve style as a goalie, but Leno, good old
man.
Jay Leno in goal there is killing it because he just makes save after save. He is, I don't know, we've talked about this on the pod before, but I think he is a true shot stopper. Like he's great. He's really good. Right. He's not the best goalkeeper, especially because Arsenal have been playing out of the back, and you kind of are like, why are they playing out of the back? Why are you trying to pass it to Papadopoulos and Mustafi and then back to the goalie, and like they've gotten themselves hurt from that, right? I don't think he's the best goalkeeper, but he's a hell of a shot stopper, and he keeps you guys in games right now.
Well, he's the guy that if you can actually start to put together a better back line, and Torreira actually had a better game, then you've got a good setup. It's just, here's my thing. I mean, it's only one game in with Arteta, so the only thing I'll really say is, for me as a fan, at this point, wherever we end up on the table, I'm going to say I don't care. I do care, obviously, but like, I just want to see improvement from this point to the end of the season, that you can believe that as he starts to put his team around him in the summer, that he wants more. So I've got something to believe in. Again, whether that's ending in 8th, but because on some instances, he's got the team he's got. Yes, Ozil had a better game today, but he's also played really poorly at times too. So he still just has the team he has. He has the back line that never got addressed. You know what I mean? Those are things that he can't change yet. So he's in
a transfer window.
He is. I mean, I guess.
Well, not quite yet, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and the question is, how much scouting to really get what you want? Does he going to be privy to? I don't know. I mean, those are all those things that are just kind of interesting, and we obviously don't know the deal when he was brought in. But I'd like to think that since Arteta probably could have had the Man City gig when Pep left, that I'm hoping Arteta could be like, I'll come in, but you give me that 4-year contract and I get authority. I hope he had some leverage, whereas if like an Eddie Howe that we had talked about earlier came in, he might not have that leverage.
I think he certainly has leverage. He's on Man City and he's been part of, arguably the best team in football last year. And
past few years, actually.
Yeah. And Arsenal need him more than he need Arsenal.
Absolutely.
So he certainly had leverage.
So I hope he managed to get a good deal for how that's going to work out for him. But personally, I just feel a young guy coming in, wanting to make a name for himself that's got a good history with the club and then a great history as an assistant manager at a world-class championship club. That's all the talk people going, I've managed, he hasn't managed any more Premier League teams than I have. That is the dumbest.
Well, that's what they were saying about.
I just don't understand that take.
Frank Lampard and Ole, like
it's a new generation, man.
It is, and I think for you guys, I think we talked about it on the last pod. I don't know if you guys make that move if the teams that I just mentioned and the clubs that I just, in Manchester United and Chelsea make those moves to kind of bring in what they want to bring back, which is the players that played under the style that each of the clubs were just terrific in. How do we get that back? And do we do that by bringing in a player that thrived at that time? Now, Arsenal didn't necessarily thrive in the Arteta years, but they did win some FA Cups. They were competing continually for the top four and for the top. And he learned from one of the best in the game in Wenger and the style and philosophy that he had.
And Wenger had said he was a really smart player that could make a great manager one day. And then he goes off and he becomes the assistant to Pep.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Right, but that's the other thing is that, yes, he's been a good player and got to learn, but he's been under Pep for a bit. So he's learned a thing or two about what it's going to take to get a football club to win.
Totally. And I know we're going to get to Everton. And while I will, a spoiler, I'll say that I think Ancelotti's a great grab for Everton. Despite his pedigree, I didn't want him to go to Arsenal.
Because he would be a stopgap.
I think it would be a definite stopgap. Yeah. I agree. I felt like we needed to do, we need a Pep, we need a Jurgen Klopp. We need some young gun ready to come in and like do like Poch did, So it's the future. Because Emery, as we said last time, was in a way kind of like another version of Arsene Wenger a little bit in style and stuff. So, I mean,
there's one other interesting thing about this match before we kind of move on. If they were going to hand out an MVP / man of the match, who do you think it would be?
Ooh, I didn't see it, but I don't know.
I mean, I know officially that it was
Harry Wilson,
Aubameyang, but
no, wrong on both counts because it was Stuart Atwell for how how many yellow cards he gave out in the second half.
Yeah, that's true.
Eight yellow cards in the second half.
There was some crazy stat too about Granit Xhaka about like 35 bookings in 70 games or something. I don't know. Like they said that during the game. I was like, God.
Stuart Atwell has a yellow card elbow.
He wanted to make sure you knew he was there. Boy, did he.
Oh, yeah.
So then our next one is Tottenham, Brighton Hove.
Tottenham and Brighton.
Shall I say that result? I don't know where you're. If you got a headline for this
you can. Yeah, you can share it. The headlines kind of go, this one's kind of an
Well, I'm just thinking already, since you're doing Christmas vacation this year, Ron, next year we need to do Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, as a inspiration for a headline.
Or Die Hard.
Comments.
Die Hard can also be one. I love it.
Which, did you guys notice,
party, pal.
Why did Die Hard go so big this year? Like, everybody just now realized that it is a possible Christmas. Like, the debate was so strong this year. Where did that come from?
Also, Netflix put out that documentary series.
Yes.
The Toys That Made Us, and then they did the movies
which is fantastic, by the way.
And the Die Hard one's pretty good. I think that's why.
I agree. Okay.
So over to Tottenham. They're at home at Tottenham. Tottenham barely wins 2-1 over Brighton Hove. This was not a good game for them, but they did get the 3 points.
They did.
Yeah, they kind of they needed a bounce back after the shellacking they took on Sunday. Chelsea won 1-2 off of 2 Willian goals. Just had to put that in there.
But but the first half was Brighton Hove. It was 1-0 and Tottenham had not gotten on the board. So it was looking like they were going to have another week of kind of an embarrassment.
But one of the nicest team goals so far of the season comes out of this for Dele Alli's 72nd minute goal to take the lead.
To win the game, actually.
a very nice team build goal that saw Dele Alli just one time right into the back of the net. Very nice goal.
I think you definitely see that between the struggle against Brighton Hove and then the shellacking against Chelsea. The special one is great, but he has a lot of work to do. And as good as Pochettino was, he definitely obviously there were problems at Tottenham. And it's I think it's gonna be a hard thing for the special one to turn around, and it's gonna be very hard to stay in that top four potentially.
Speaking of the special one, headline is semi around him. Tottenham execs. Our holidays are always such a mess. Reporters. Oh yeah? How'd you get through it? Had a lot of help from Jose Mourinho.
Oh, jeez. That took me too long to fix.
I love that these are some good deep cuts for a Christmas vacation. I had a lot of help from Jack Daniels. How did you do it, Dad?
That's your job, son.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him. This Tottenham team needs help. But I do think with Jose being there, it's a much bigger now, unlike what we had said earlier when Poch was there and struggling. I think he can keep a lot of these players and build on.
Correct. And actually, to that point, they just signed Toby Alderweireld, who was out of contract in the summer and going to leave until Poch left and Jose came in, and he just signed an extension until like 2023, I think. He has a lot of talent there to build off of, and what he can do, you have small pieces that he probably wants to add, but you have your goal scorers in Kane and Ali. That is part of your backbone there. You can build off of that.
We also said this club
and Son,
correct, absolutely. Which was out this game because of a red card on the weekend, which I don't know if you guys saw that. I thought it was a red upon further review. But yeah, there's a good core there. And you have defenders that are very good as well as a goalie who also, keep in mind, guys, Hugo Lloris is out.
That's
Remember
true.
that horrific injury? He's a game changer.
Yeah.
He's a World Cup winning goal keeper. So there's plenty of talent there. And if Jose keeps his mindset right and continues with
a red card. That's a yellow card. Sorry.
Oh yeah, for
yellow card to Manchester United.
Pereira. Yeah. If Jose keeps his head in the game and really manages these players well, which so far he seemingly has by telling Ali, "Are you Ali or Dele Alli's brother?" and getting Son to play and Eriksson to play and re-signing Toby. If you can manage this, you have the talent there. Now just fill in the little parts and pieces that you have to win a Champions League or push for a title next year or
he
whatever.
He does have a team, though, that could do very well in the Champions League.
Yeah, I think they can do some. So there's a goal. Mason Greenwood, the 18-year-old.
Oh, great.
2-1 United in the 35th.
Oh, Newcastle have no business passing the ball back there like that. Oh, God.
Newcastle, a club that I think is lucky that there are other clubs struggling more below them.
Mason Greenwood on his first start in the Premier League in a long time. Actually, been first this year.
To go back, I think Tottenham, I actually feel, even though they've had so much upheaval, I think their team morale and where they are is light years better than where Arsenal is.
Oh,
from a morale standpoint, the players seem like they actually want to play standpoint. Those two things being equal, I still think Tottenham's in a better position.
Oh, I agree.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They as Fair said, a couple of pieces. Arsenal's got like a lot of pieces that are problems. So, or maybe not even problems. People that maybe flourish on another team, but just that chemistry isn't quite connecting. So, yeah, I agree.
And you possibly have a lot of dead weight there with some big contracts that I don't know if that's something that Arteta's going to look at and get Ozil out of there. Is he going to sell Aubameyang? Is he going to sell Lacazette? I mean, it's going to be curious to see what he does with those contracts there. But back to Tottenham.
They can just keep their people. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They can keep them, and then as long as Daniel Levy opens up those pocketbooks just a little bit, they can add in some talent that will complement the talent that's already there.
Well, if you did bring in Jose Mourinho, I'm going to assume that if you weren't thinking of opening your pocketbook, what was the point of having Jose Mourinho come in?
Well, I guess time will tell on that.
That's a fair assumption.
Because he likes to drop money.
Have you guys heard did you see the presser where everyone was asking where Dembele was?
In Dembele?
It's a club record signing, and he was absent in today's match over Brighton. And so when he was asked, he said the following, and I quote in my best Jose impersonation. I cannot say that he was injured. I can say that yesterday he told me he was not feeling in the right condition to play in the game. Not because of an injury, but because of injury he previously had. End quote.
Jose got that bus ready to back
Yes,
up.
it does. Beep, beep, beep.
I just love it. Not because of an injury, but because of injuries that he previously had. That means he was injured.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's the long and short of it, I guess.
God, I'm so glad Jose Mourinho's back in the Premier League. Just makes me happy. Does this move us on to Norwich, Aston Villa?
I believe it does.
So at home, Aston Villa, a much needed 3 points. Big win for them as they win 1-0 over Norwich. Which, to just double check, I believe that's a big deal because it does move Aston Villa. Oh, no, they still are in relegation.
Yes, they are.
But it does get them a point away from tying the West Ham, who's just above them. So below them, they have 18 points, Aston Villa, 19. Watford has 13 points. Norwich has 12. Norwich, oof, looking rough.
Yeah.
Speaking of looking rough, there goes the headline.
Four losses and a draw in their last 5 matches for Norwich City.
So, for the headline, Norwich nervous? Bricks. You shouldn't use that word. Sorry. Rocks.
Shouldn't it?
That one was good.
And that girl is so sweet when she says it.
Oh, that's what makes it so friggin' funny.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she's going to apologize for saying the word and then
Friggin' love it.
No.
So, yeah, Norwich are in big trouble, and they should be bricks because... Sorry, Blake, I keep making you go back to the pad. I keep seeing your hands keep going.
Like, notching another.
They're struggling. They absolutely are. And since Timu Puki's form has kind of dipped a bit,
I think people just got figured out his game.
Well, yeah, but you know who else is on Norwich to help him? He can't do it all himself, and they're not a bad squad by any means, but they're not a squad that can compete at the top level of the English game. If they were in the championship, they would probably be doing quite well. They're a team that grinds out wins.
They've also had some key injuries in the midfield that was really helping Pookie get the ball a lot more. I mean, he's getting no service.
There it is. And another one. Marcus Rashford. Lovely cross. 3-1 United.
Yeah, I'm like a full minute and a half behind you.
Well,
so thanks for continuously ruining the store.
Well, I would apologize, but it's pissing you off that you're seeing a score. So then I just don't.
Norwich City had the better stats, except 2 places. One was tackles, and the other one was yellow cards. Other than that, they had the stats of this entire game. So they actually had a good game. They just can't score.
Can't put the ball in the back of the net, exactly.
And Aston Villa are struggling down at the bottom, not doing much better, but obviously they walk over the 3 points from this. But they still need a good run to get out of that bottom three.
Well, also here's the tale of these two teams: a -19 goal differential for Norwich City and a -8 for Aston Villa. So neither of them have that great of offense. Neither of them have a great defense, but Aston Villa is light years ahead at only -8.
Well, and it should be said, at Aston Villa having 18 points, above them in this order, starting at 17, West Ham with 19 points, Bournemouth with 20, Brighton Hove with 20, Southampton with 21, Everton with 22. There are still some good clubs that need to start stepping up so they don't look at this relegation fight in their back window, or in their rearview window, or mirror, I should say, not window. But in their clubs, the Evertons, the Bournemouths, obviously there's a big wig. Southampton today, as we'll get to that match, they needed that desperately. But this bottom section of the table, not so much place 20 and 19. I think Watford and Norwich, that's, as you said, Ron, and Watford's also got a -21 goal differential. So yeah. I don't see Watford and Norwich, other than replacing each other, changing much. But that third spot, man, there's a lot of teams that could drop into that. Hell, even Arsenal's only 6 points away from relegation. in that respect, at 11th. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I think
there's a lot of teams that are within, two good losses and a few wins by teams below them to drop them into 16, 17 place.
And they are teams that you could see going, I could see a Bournemouth, a West Ham, Southampton, Brighton Hove, maybe even Everton. These are teams that you go, no, when it counts at the end of the season, I could see them having like a 2 or 3 game slump that just bites them in the butt, man. So, yeah, this they need, hopefully Everton can kind of right the ship a bit, but there's definitely
also
some scary targets.
Also, considering that the negative goal differentials start at 9th place on the table, that's saying a bit, right? Because if 9th place, that's better than half the league is in a negative goal differential. So any of those teams could be in the relegation zone in 2-3 games tops.
Absolutely.
Especially in this holiday season where games are, flying thick and fast all during the weeks.
He'd like to let us know that our clubs are in that spot, I think is what Ron is after, Ferris.
Right. Well, United's not quite there, but they are, they're still a +4 on the year, but it's the back half of the table is going to be more interesting probably than the top half at this point in terms of especially the top 2.
Well, I think the top 2 stays interesting if Leicester holds on to it.
If they get a win today, I think it definitely becomes a little bit more interesting. But even if they get a win today, they're still 7 points behind Liverpool.
I don't think they'll catch up to Liverpool, but if Leicester could hold on to a second place spot through the year, man, that's huge for them.
Right. I think anywhere from 12th on down is really in trouble for the bottom 3 in terms of a dog battle. And I discount Arsenal from that. I don't think they're going to go down, but Newcastle could also be in that too.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, Arsenal, we'll keep drawing all the way to 40 points.
The 40 point mark.
I don't think Arsenal drops, but if they keep playing the way they're playing, you could see them in 14th place.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could see a very, I was going to say a Chelsea-esque year when Jose got them all the way down there and they sacked and got in. No, who did they get in? They got in a stopgap.
Yeah, they got into 13th that year.
No, wasn't that when they brought in the Italian, Conte? Because then they won the league next year, right?
In the summer, they bring him in.
Oh, no, they brought in Gus Hiddink.
Goose Hiddink, yes. When they brought in him.
Goose Hiddink was the stopgap for
Conte, right?
I can't remember, And then Conte took over and
Right.
brought them to changed them to a back three, and then the world was on fire.
Right. So Arsenal pulled the trigger on that earlier, not quite down there in 14th and 15th where they were. And it might take a few games, but I think, Arteta won't let them get any lower.
But Newcastle,
Even if it is draws.
but you're right, Newcastle could.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Speaking of teams that desperately needed to get above, our next game, Southampton go to Chelsea, and they pull out a big win for them. 2 wins in a row, and so all of a sudden Southampton goes from a relegation spot all the way up to, what are they, 14th right now at 21 points. Huge.
Yep. 3 wins and 2 losses in their last 5 games.
Do you have a headline, Ferris?
Oh, I do.
What's your headline?
Boy.
Hey, Chelsea, I heard Southampton going to beat you at home on Boxing Day. You serious, Clark?
and they were.
I really thought he was going to go with where are you going to put the tree that's
Oh, that's
bend over and I'll show you.
Yeah. You could have used a number of ones from that for this particular match because it was a dud from Chelsea.
So I offer an alternate one for the Arsenal headline only because of Mikel Arteta's hair and how much he looks like a character from Christmas Vacation. With, is Arsenal going to actually not draw a game? I don't know, Margot. If you want to come in, you can break the damn door down.
Here comes Santa Claus. Here it comes. Ah, it's classic. Yeah, I'm watching a lot of the extended highlights, and it you know what the game reminds me of a bit? It reminds me of the game that United just had on Sunday when we lost to Watford at home, 2-0. Or no, we lost at Watford 2-0.
Thanks for bringing that up because I did not want to miss that one.
Right. So, but what I mean by that is Chelsea looked a little bit tired, a little bit leggy, and just didn't get the chances to kind of fall their way on some things. And
it feels like classic festive fixtures fatigue.
Right. And they just came off of a very big win at Tottenham. So going, being at home to a bottom of the club or a bottom of the table club, they might have just pulled off the gas just a wee bit. And
they got hit with the FFFF. Or the FFF.
Which is,
There we go.
So my headline.
I was like, not Fast and Furious. Never mind.
So my headline for this match is, hey, Ron, were you surprised that Chelsea lost 2-0 to Southampton? And my response would be, well, if I woke up with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be any more surprised than I am right now.
Ron, you're a smart man. That plays into the Crystal Palace game next.
Yeah, it was like as an Arsenal fan watching Bournemouth Arsenal go on my iPad and watching Southampton Chelsea on the other, I was like, well, at least Chelsea is losing to Southampton. That was like my only joy of the afternoon.
Your only joy on Boxing Day. And how do you lose to a team in those kits, too? Like, let's be honest. Those are some horrendous yellow and black. And I usually am a fan of the yellow and black kits because of Dortmund, but these just aren't good. It's like they are yellow pilgrims. You know, the white, the thing over the top of a pilgrim that just covered like the shoulders and a little bit of the chest. That's kind of how their jersey lines up with this yellow over their like bib. Like all I need is just a black hat on them, and they would be the Southampton Pilgrims or something.
That was a rough.
Any Southampton fan we had, sorry, just horrendous.
That was a rough match. And an interesting thing is that Frank Lampard kind of stranded Tammy Abraham up top in this match, and Abraham has been playing. His successes have come when we're in a more when we're in more of a 4-4-2 style formation where he's got someone to play off of. We didn't do that in this match. We stranded him up top, and then we wonder why he's not, producing.
Doesn't Frank know I put the captain armband on Tammy? I needed him to score in this game. Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
He does so well in that other situation. Why leave him stranded out there?
So are you guys watching the NBC sports feed right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So two things I have a question for. One, do you like the kind of blend they're doing between NBCSN and Sky Sports?
Yeah, they've been doing that all year a little bit.
Yeah, it's been slowly a little more, so that whenever it's just Sky Sports, it doesn't look as foreign as it kind of blends it a little bit.
Yeah, I like the NBC Sports version. It wasn't so European.
Yeah, I get what they're doing.
Like
putting
hard squares of color.
Yeah, I agree.
I do like how they still keep. While the graphics and stuff change, they still keep the dialogue that Rebecca Lowe has with the two Robbies and Kyle. That still hasn't changed, which I think is good.
And Ron, I don't know what your number
just
2.
The overall look. Was better under NBCSN.
And it just definitely feels a little bit more European. I agree.
Yeah, and it's still NBCSN, but with the Sky deal with Comcast, it's certainly blended a lot more.
So then the next thing is, what happened to Kyle Martino's face?
I love the stash.
Errol frickin' Flynn, man. That's what I'm
saying.
Love the stash. Totally looks like Errol Flynn.
Yeah. I just want him to whip out a sword and start just dueling the two Robbies. Go to town.
But I also really like that bushy beard. I wonder if Comcast, NBC were like, you're not fitting into the grooming standard. You've got to shave the beard.
With the stash, it was hysterical when they were in Miami. I don't know why, but that look just worked when they were in Miami, which is maybe why he did it. But it just cracked me up. All their stuff in the Miami, I wish I could have gotten it. It was bad timing coming up on the holidays and stuff. If they had done the Miami Premier League, thing a month from now, it would have been easier maybe to go see if we could have gone down and checked it out. But I did enjoy all the Miami Vice references.
Yeah, that's pretty great. I got to watch some of it.
I love you're out in China able to watch some of that stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm watching NBC Sports right now. It's a commercial for the Salvation Army at the moment, but yeah, I get to watch
Pitbull, Mr. 305.
I was just going to say we got
T-Mobile.
Oh, so that's funny because that's exactly what I'm watching.
Oh, so yeah, well that's right.
What is this?
I'm just behind you. There he is. It's Boost Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people dancing in the Miami streets.
The 305.
Ridiculous.
For free phones.
So speaking of ridiculous, does that bring you to Crystal Palace versus West Ham?
I believe it does.
I'm curious about
the headline now.
Your headline after what you said, because I don't know if I'm that surprised, but go ahead. So Crystal Palace at home, they win 2-1 against West Ham United.
Who are the goal scorers?
Oh, hold on a second, actually, because that was not one I was keeping up with.
Jordan Ayew scored in the 90th minute. Coyote scored in the 68th.
So if I woke up tomorrow with Czech Coyote and Jordan Ayew scoring to beat us, Sean wouldn't be more surprised than I am now.
Okay, I got you.
That's brilliant. Good job.
Yeah, not exactly guys that get on the score sheet.
No,
tremendous
especially Czech Coyote, not Coyote. He's not a Coyote. Check Coyote. He's not a goal scorer. He's usually a number 6 that kind of just sits and protects the midfield. But did you guys see the Jordan Ayew goal in this?
Yeah.
Holy smokes! Potential goal of the season with just his feet work and then the little chip dink. Oh, it was what? And I was listening to Sirius on the way
Everton
in.
Goal today.
The what?
better than the Everton diving goal of Calvert-Lewin?
Oh, they were both. I think you have two really good goals.
Calvert-Lewin goal was the best.
I haven't seen that one yet, so I'll have to get back to it when we get to that game next. But look at the Jordan Ayew goal. The comment that was made on Talk Sport, because I believe they're the ones that do the commentary for SiriusXM over here, or it's the feed that they use. They were saying, you will not see a better goal this Boxing Day than that. And think about it this way. If that was Ronaldo or Messi doing that, it would be on every Instagram feed, every headline football, but it's Jordan Ayew doing it, and it's Palace doing it. But it's a brilliant goal. Just watch the feet work and watch the skill that he takes to get there. And then at the end of all of that, the foresight that he sees to then have a little chip dink over the top of the keeper is it's a brilliant finish.
Yeah, I agree. It is a very, very good finish.
And let's talk about the fact that last year, I'm pretty confident some of us picked Crystal Palace to potentially get relegated. Mm-hmm. And they are sitting comfortably at 8th, but looking like they can live in that area and maybe even compete to try and get in the top 6. I mean, who'd have thought?
Yeah. Also amid the rumors that Zaha will be leaving this transfer window to go to Chelsea.
That's true. That has been that has quietly been ramping up, I think.
Yeah,
would you want him?
I think it would be a good addition to the attacking strength of Chelsea. Yes. I don't think he's going to go till the summer transfer window. He's done a lot for the club. I think the club would politely just say, look, we know you've done a ton for us. Just stick around till the end of the season and then we'll let you go. And I think he would. But stranger things have happened.
But seriously, at this point, if someone had told you, what are we at, match week 18, 19, what are we at right here?
We're in the middle of 18 and 19.
If someone had told you at the beginning of this season that Crystal Palace would be sitting on the table higher than Man United, Arsenal, and Everton, would you have believed that?
Who was?
That if Crystal Palace was going to be sitting at the table at this point above Man United, Arsenal, and Everton. That's
true.
No matter.
Very true.
For one, they're not going to get relegated. What a successful, good season Crystal Palace is having, bar none. And they are competitive, have stayed that way. And we have a few listeners that are Crystal Palace fans, big Crystal Palace fans. And their loyalty has paid off this year for far more fun. You're having more fun than I am as an Arsenal fan, that's for sure.
It's very up and down with them, though.
Yeah, but you know what? Arsenal is just down.
That's true. They're more like a fun roller coaster that goes up and down, and you guys are like it's a small world ride going through.
Yeah, it's still there. It's a classic. Exactly. You're going to get on. You're going to get off the ride. Exactly. You're going to get what you paid for. You know exactly what you're getting.
And you're going to know that same damn song all over, and that's called Arsenal Fan TV.
Yep.
It's the same.
Yeah, I think Arsenal is that, that the Conestoga wagon ride, it just goes around in circles and you feel your stomach drop every time. You guys are Arsenal's just stuck at the top.
Yep. That's where they are. But Crystal Palace, you could have fun. Roller coaster. You could have fun if you're a fan of Crystal Palace right now.
And Crystal Palace did really well in this match. 57% of the possession, the most shots on target, the most shots, the most passes and touches. They really controlled the match, even though they were scored on first.
West Ham, they are also up and down, more in the down category this season. They sometimes have games where they are doing really well. They are a little all over the place.
Well, they've lost 3 out of their last 5. So they're a bit on the downward spiral. The good news, though, is that West Ham this season hasn't been that much of a team for draws. They typically either win or lose, and they mostly lose. 9 losses on the season.
It's true. They're not salvaging even like points just here and there.
Yeah. They're either one end or the other.
What are you laughing at?
Because I forgot a game on here, and I just made up a headline on the go.
Oh, is this our next game?
No, it's not.
Oh. Should we move on, though, to...
Well, no. The game we forgot on here was the game that was delayed, and we didn't have it at the time. Sheffield United and Watford.
Which, weirdly enough, what an important game. Who would have thought
exactly.
Sheffield United and a Watford match this far into the season would seriously be deciding who's sitting around in some of those European spots on the table? That's crazy.
Yes. I kind of mixed two here.
For Sheffield.
Just made it up on the fly.
So Sheffield and the Wolves.
1-1 draw. What's that sound? You hear it? It's a funny draw sound. You couldn't get another goal shooting on that. Tap dancing with Billy f***ing Joel.
What?
I like that you just mixed two of them.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Say that again?
I did the best I could. I don't have it. This is a good 8% beer, though. I'll tell you that much. What's that sound? You hear it? It's a funny draw sound. You couldn't get another goal shooting on net. Tap dancing with Billy f***ing Joel. I just had to mix two. I don't know.
Why,
because
why
Billy
Billy
Joel,
Joel?
because he's like the most famous Watford fan ever. He's
No,
always
he's not. It's not Billy Joel, you idiot.
Is it? Hold on.
No.
It's Elton f***ing John. Yes. Damn it.
That's why I was so confused. I was like, what is Billy
Can you
Joel
like
have
cut
to
that
do with
bit out of the
anything?
pod right there?
Oh, my God. That's hysterical.
Why was I thinking? It's Elton John with his damn glass.
I
Yes,
could
you're
not
right.
figure out where Billy Joel came into the situation.
With Elton
That's
John.
so great. Oh, that's brilliant.
That's what I get for
is the-
trying to put it together last minute.
That is the gift that keeps on giving the whole year through.
Gonna get another goal shooting on net, tap dancing with Elton John. That does sound a lot better. God damn it.
Oh, my God. That was amazing. I needed that. Thank you.
You're glad I could be the entertainment for the hour here.
But again, I'll say, let's see, Sheffield sitting at 6th, right? No, where are they?
Where's the up there?
6th, yeah, Sheffield United.
Yeah, they're still up there.
29 points, sitting in 6th place, just below Tottenham. They are tied on points. The goal differentials, they have 6, Tottenham has 7. Sheffield friggin' United. How fun. Yep. I mean, again, I don't think any of us picked that for a Leicester-ish decision, but if they actually manage to end and get like a spot in the Europa League, good grief, that'd be amazing.
Well,
yeah.
And for them, was that a away game or was that a home game for them?
I do believe that was home.
Home game. What's more impressive, though, they have yet to lose on the road this year in the Premier League. So much has been said about their home form, especially with the top 6 clubs, but on the road, Sheffield United has not lost a single game yet. That is, for a team that just came up, that is phenomenal.
Yeah, you can't. There's one other team in the league that's that good, and it's Liverpool.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
that's
valid
crazy.
Point. Yeah,
yeah. And Sheffield United won 3 of their last 5. The 2 they didn't win, 1 was a draw, 1 was a loss. Sheffield United is doing really well, and maybe it's their talisman, Billy Sharp.
It's not, because he spends most games on the bench, but I would love it to be
sometimes your lucky rabbit's foot stays in your locker, but you still have it.
Hey, he's still there on the sidelines. He's still helping those young kids.
This is true.
Yeah, Sheffield United, so every time there's a game to watch with them, I mean, at this point, I'd rather watch them than Arsenal. Sitting at 6 as we go into Boxing Day.
Yeah, and they were in 5th before I think going into this weekend or week of games, I guess, after the weekend.
And just mind you, had they won this game, they would have leapt Tottenham and been 5th. but they drew it. But they would have been ahead of Tottenham by 1 point. Yeah.
True.
You know what's interesting? Sheffield United is probably one of the better, I'll say, lower table teams, because you never expected that they were going to be in the top 6, right? But they're one of the better lower teams that I think they're the most flexible team in the Premier League, meaning they just take the cards that are dealt and they make a winning hand all the time.
Oh, if you are a club that like those last 2 games of the season are really going to decide something important for you, you do not want to be playing these guys.
No, and Sheffield had a chance to win this in the 63rd with a phenomenal ball in and a great stop by Ben Foster. But what they've done to win games is they've stuck with their style of play. They've stuck with those 3 at the back, those 3 center backs that are ball handling, are lovely little dink. Make that 4-1.
Who just scored that?
Martial.
One? Good grief.
Does anyone else think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the rain at Old Trafford kind of looks like Smeagol?
Yes, he looks exactly like what's the actor's name? You know, he's been in a ton of Marvel movies. He was in Star Wars movies. But yeah, every time they show him, he looks like oh god, it's gonna make me crazy. I'm gonna look his name up right now. But yes, he definitely looks exactly like Andy Serkis. That's his name.
Andy, yes.
He looks like Andy Serkis. I just want him to go, my precious. Yes. We like
Lovely
when the
little
balls
chip.
goes in the nuts.
Also, I must say that the Manchester United kit this year with the black and gold emblem on the red away, the red home shirts is pretty phenomenal.
Ferris is, I think, got a Christmas present he's wearing.
Ma Duke's
right
got me a long-sleeved home kit, and yes, the emblem is an homage to the 99 team, and specifically the Champions League winning Manchester United. And what's really cool about the jersey is that black and gold is followed up with stripes on each sleeve. The stripe on each sleeve on the left side says 90+1. That was, I believe, the Teddy Sheringham goal in the Champions League final against Bayern that tied it. And then the other sleeve is the 90+3 Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goal that won the Champions League final to cement the treble for Manchester United. So kind of a cool little Easter eggs on the jersey here.
Right.
Boy,
well, clearly they're going to win this one 4-1.
They're putting on a clinic right now. Yeah. Woof.
Yeah, look at Luke Shaw just chilling out. Like, whatever. We're winning this.
And then it also says on the jersey, it says it right there. Treble winners, BCN, 26th of May, 1999. So kind of a cool...
It's a cool kit, man.
Throwback to the team that was probably the best, one of the best to ever play the game in the sport.
Adidas finally shaking things up and doing fun stuff.
Yeah, and you can't really tell it's an Adidas kit.
No.
It has the stripes on the sleeve, but they are red, so they just blend in with the rest of the jersey. It's a beautiful kit. Anyways.
Should this roll so around to Everton then?
Sure.
Carlo Ancelotti sitting there in Everton at a home game against Burnley. Never an easy team to play. And they get 3 points. They win 1-0. Big win for Everton because they've been struggling.
That they have. A really, really big win and a new manager boost here. I mean, Duncan Ferguson did a hell of a job with the games that he had. But I have not seen the Calvert-Lewin goal yet. I know, Ron, you were speaking quite highly of that.
It's a beautiful diving header.
And it moves them
really
16th to 13th. I believe they were 16th.
Just one win. One win does that. Yep. And it's evident. Like it's such a big win for them. And against a Burnley team that has been playing okay in the past few weeks, but still has a very strong defense. And to get this win and kind of just see it through and kind of grind out a win is what Everton needed. They didn't need to win in a flashy way. They needed just to get 3 points. And that's what they went in there to do.
Well, I think Ancelotti is a great grab for Everton. I don't know that he's necessarily, as we said with Arsenal, he might have been a stopgap.
Correct. Yeah.
I think in Everton, he could build something pretty cool over there.
He definitely
Yeah,
brings
I
a
think so.
buzz back.
Yeah, I think they definitely get the manager bump that Arsenal's looking for then they're not getting. Everton, in their last 5 matches, win 2, draw 2, lose 1. Burnley, win 2, lose 3.
Ugh, yeah.
So
Bit of a slump.
I think Everton's on the rise, Burnley's on the drop.
Did you have a headline for this one, Ferris?
I did. I don't know if I can pull it off as well as you could, though.
Okay, he's going to turn this headline around. Let me see this. Yeah, that fancy laptop.
It's the one at the bottom there.
Everton game. Oh, God, here we go. Actually, this should be wrong, but here we go. Hey, headline for the Everton game. If any of you are looking for any last-minute gift ideas for Everton, I have one. I like Marco Silva, our former boss, out the door tonight. Went and brought from his happy holiday office over there on Finch Farm in Halewood with all the other assistant managers, and we want him brought right here with a big pink slip on his forehead. We want to look him straight in the eye and tell him what a cheap, lying, no good formation, no 4-4-2, weak tactic, bad dressed, poor subbing, no defense playing, overthought, ignorant, blood-sucking, pitch-kissing, brainless, goalless, hopeless, heartless, small ass, no style, stiff smile, spotty lineups, wrong manager sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah. Holy where's the Carlo?
That's brilliant. Well done.
Thank you, Blake. I could not have done justice to that one.
Well done, Ferris. My favorite part in that whole movie. Well done.
Exactly.
Well read, Blake. Well read.
Yes, well read. Thank you, because I could not have done that one the justice that you did.
Well, the thing is, you wrote that one really well. It fits in the pattern exactly.
I literally took that exact thing and I just started to plug in thing.
I think it even has the exact number of syllables.
Oh, that's brilliant.
No good formation, no 4-4-2.
I like that.
Weak tactic.
Spotty
No
lineup.
good fourth flushing, ignorant, blood sucking, brainless, hopeless, fat ass, bug eyed, stiff legged, spotty lipped, worm headed sack of monkey shit he is. Well done.
Oh my God.
That's Everton.
Boxing
They
Day
needed
pod
that.
is always so fun.
Yo, Boxing Day just makes me happy. Thanks for sticking around and doing it. Is it,
Yeah,
is
thanks,
it
Rob.
almost 3 a.m. your time?
Yeah, it's 2:45
Oh,
a.m.
Jesus.
we gotta get this thing wrapped up. Well, I actually think
And I'm
that
watching Paul Pogba's white spot on the side of his head.
Yeah. He was a second half sub. He's pinging the ball around and playing quite well, but so far so good for United.
oh my God, where's the Carlo? That's so great. I do. I think that's a really good pick for them. I think Ancelotti will do really well there.
Definitely brings the buzz back that is needed at Goodison Park to at least the end of the year.
Yeah, and if they give him some leeway, he could build something there.
He could, but he needs time and leeway, and I don't know if he will be given time. Not necessarily. Like, will they want him to try to build? Is he a 5-year guy? Is he a 3-year guy? You know, that's what I don't know, and that's what kind of time
He's
will
2
tell.
years
There.
at best.
2 years unless
That's
they
what
really
I'm thinking. Yeah,
manage to say get back into Europa within a year or two, and he might stick around.
yeah, but I think
He
he's
needs
been
to
only.
do so much homework.
Oh yeah,
Meaning, like, there's so many people he needs to replace. There's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work.
Or So what's going to happen, guys, with Pochettino?
that's interesting.
If some of these clubs are settling out, it looks like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think he is your manager into next year. Is Pochettino going to be in the Premier League next year, or is he going to be somewhere else? Because right now, I'm not necessarily seeing any top clubs that might go for him.
Not in the Premier League, anyways.
That's what I mean. So sorry, in the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if Man United took a big dump, they'd go for him. They go for him right now.
Yeah, but it's so back and forth with United. Like, they're whooping Newcastle right now, but they lose to Watford. But they beat Man City. They beat Tottenham. It gets still an up and down with them, and I don't see Potts coming in right now. I don't. The way that Ole is building the squad with the young talent, I'd like to see it through. And getting the loss like we had on Sunday is going to happen with that. They're going to be tired. They're going to be young. They're not going to, it was a gaffe. It was a penalty. Like, things weren't going their way, so their heads were down a little bit. So you can coach them out of that.
Well, now that there's no Mikel Arteta at Man City, if Pep really does leave after this year,
he could be going to Man City, yeah.
Maybe there.
What about a Bayern Munich move?
Well,
what about an AC Milan move?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Those are definitely options. It did seem like the Bayern Munich one though kind of went away. Did they make it?
Did. I don't know. They haven't made a hire yet. What's interesting with AC Milan is Zlatan just I think confirmed today, or a lot of reports saying that he's going to go there. And AC Milan right now is a freaking dumpster fire. They are, and I don't know manager-wise if Poch would be interested in that, but that's a very big club that, he's at the post.
Well, they could. He did that for Tottenham, though. He turned it from a dumpster fire into a top team.
Yeah, AC Milan is more prestige in that they have a lot of history involved with them, and a much bigger following. But that's a 5-year plan there, and if that's what you want to bring in Poch for, AC Milan could do a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, if you want to build a sort of top team that never wins anything, go for it.
Little jab there from Ron from China.
Yeah, that was see, I can't make those jabs because Arsenal is so bad right now. That was pretty good. I'll take that. Good grief.
I'm here for you.
Yeah. Well, I really hate you got Lampard over there because I like him. It's much easier to hate Chelsea when it was Jose Mourinho. I mean, it's really easy to hate Tottenham right now as an Arsenal fan. But I do like Frank. It's like Jurgen Klopp. I like Frank. I like Ole. I like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There's some fun managers right now. The Premier League's got a ton of really fun managers right now.
There was something that I think Bleacher Report put. Right now there is Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Carlo Ancelotti, and Jose Mourinho all in the same league. The number of trophies and silverware that those four have won, something insane. Like 50 some between the three. Like it's nuts. That's cool. But then we also have your Eddie Howe's, Sean Dyche's, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's, Frank Lampard, Mikel Arteta's. You have a calamity of characters that follow those elite four, that it's from top to bottom. It's fun right now in the Premier League. Makes for a hell of a Boxing Day and a hell of a festive fixtures.
Well, if you're a good manager and you're looking at going into like La Liga or something, or like going to like Serie A or wherever, but say like you got your two teams you can get into, because if you don't get into one of those two teams, you're not going to win the championship. Right now, the Premier League is very enticing for a really top manager because there's a lot more parity in this league than there is in the other leagues in Europe. Yeah, and even look at the parity with what we're talking about just a few moments ago in Sheffield United, and the job that Chris Wilders is doing there is but look at like Palace with Roy. They're up there in 7th, 8th, or wherever they are, and it's 9th. And there's a lot of parity and there's a lot of opportunities in the Premier League. And it's ruthless in the fact that if you don't do well in the first season or the first half of the season, then you're going to be canned. Now you're going to be paid because of whatever contract you sign, but you'll be canned. So there's job opportunities are going to be there. But here's the thing. If you're out there and you're listening, Louis van Gaal, you should come back to the Premier League because we could use some more comedy. It's true. In a big way.
Wait, Lingard for Rashford?
I think Rashford has a knock. I think he's going straight to the dressing room. So you're trading a knock for a knob? Yes. Yes, Blake. Yes! That's a way to end a Boxing Day special. Thank you. Yes! That's what I've been talking about over here. Yes, Blake.
You totally could have sounded like Owen Wilson just now. You could have. Really you had a perfect moment to be Owen Wilson. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow. You're right, Blake.
Wow.
I mean, he's got a knock. Just this is brilliant. All right, so real quick, the top disappointment of the season so far, and the biggest surprise of the season so far, in terms of a team. Blake, what do you got?
Biggest disappointment and biggest surprise. Well, I think it's hard for me to not put Sheffield as a biggest surprise at this point. I guess for my own club, I could say Arsenal as a big disappointment. But the way they were trending, I don't know if you can call that a disappointment. They just got a little bit worse than they were before. Sheffield's definitely my top surprise. Oh, man, my biggest disappointment. You know what? I will, because we like him so much. I'm a little worried about the Bournemouth situation right now. They are not as consistently competitive as I would like to see them. I'll put that just above the Arsenal disappointment for me, only because where Arsenal's playing at right now doesn't shock me, considering where they were at the beginning of the season.
Right.
So yeah, I'll let Bournemouth edge that out just a little bit.
Ron, what was the question again?
The question is the team that surprised you the most and the team you're disappointed in the most.
Team that surprised me the most is going to be Tottenham Hotspur. You sack Poch and you bring in Jose.
That's true.
That's
a pretty big surprise.
That's a pretty big surprise. Who at the beginning of the season would have thought that you'd be firing Poch and bringing in Jose? That what?
They almost could be the same answer. They were disappointingly bad on that bad streak, and now shock you by bringing in a Jose, and they are fighting to get back in the top four.
Yeah,
looking like they could do it.
Yeah, and then for me, the most disappointing would probably be Everton. I mean, I thought with the talent that they brought in the offseason, I thought they were going to do some really good things, and they haven't. And they've now sacked a manager, but brought in Carlo Ancelotti, which was coaching at Napoli in the Champions League a month ago. And now he's coaching a 13th ranked side in the Premier League that's in no competition but the Chupacabra Cup and the whatever. Even if they're in the Chupacabra Cup now, I don't even know if that's the case. But so I think for me that they would be the biggest disappointing. Ron?
Gotcha. I would say that my biggest surprise is Leicester because I think no one expected them to be in second place. We expected they'd be hovering around the top 4 or 5, but no one expected them to be second, especially over a Man City. So I'm going to say my biggest surprise is Leicester, and I'm going to say that I'm going to go with Blake. My biggest disappointment is Bournemouth.
Yeah, they got a lot of talent still on that pitch, and
they also have a lot of injuries right now. So
okay, you know what? That is a very accurate point. And it shows the difference in disparity with money on a club like that. They got these injuries, and they just do not have the depth to maintain.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question, though.
Yeah, that was a good one, Ron. Got everybody thinking.
I have one every once in a while.
There he is.
Well, gentlemen, I think it wraps us up another Boxing Day special.
It does.
I always love these. It was a really good Christmas beer.
Yeah, the eggnog imperial cream ale,
Nogged Out by who's it again?
Intercoastal Brewing in Melbourne, Florida.
And we have not had them on the pod,
local.
Right? Intercoastal.
I do not believe so.
Well,
I think this is a new local beer that we've had on the pod, and it's a seasonal one, obviously. But they have a lot of normal. Their normal on tap stuff is fantastic as well.
And Ron,
so you know what I found out?
Yeah,
I found out real quick that The Stone Brewing that's going to open up here in Beijing is opening up in April. And I found a beer store here in Beijing that sells Lost Coast Brewing.
What?
Ooh.
The Florida brewery?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Good on them for getting distribution out there. Makes me wonder if they partner with that brew hub facility that's here to get international distribution. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They've got most of them. The beer for the pod for me was Bush de Noël from a Belgian 12% strong beer. Woo! And it was quite strong.
The old 12% at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Well, I'm gonna do the it's after Christmas and go see if there's any Christmas beer specials. So I still might throw in some more Christmas beer before this festive season is done. We got Old Christmas on January 6th. We got a little time.
Perfect.
Well, folks, follow us on the Untapped for all these crazy different beers so you can see what we're trying, especially for Ron all across the world. Although apparently he's drinking Florida beers now in Beijing. Who would have known? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just go to the website, www.thebrewtifulgame.com.
Untapped, yours said?
Yep, Untapped. You'll find everything you need to find there. And if you don't mind, if you want to leave us a rating or review on however you listen to us, whatever podcast catcher you listen to, but Apple Podcast, whatever, let us know. Give us a screen grab, and we'll get something like a koozie or something out in the mail to you. Gentlemen, does that wrap us up?
I think it does.
I think it does.
Star Wars just came out, and I didn't even talk about that.
Here we go. Set up.
Star Wars just came out. But it turns out, spoiler alert, one of the plot lines is Luke is trying to find the perfect Christmas present for Darth Vader, but he can't pull it off because he can't fool Darth Vader. You know why?
Why?
Because he felt his presence.
Have a good night, folks.
You're welcome. If you don't like that one and you're looking for a little present gift for Darth Vader, what you really should be looking for is Santa's sleigh. It's real cheap. It's on the house.
Please turn us off.
Wink, jingle bells.
Just turn it off. Make it stop.
Hope you had a Merry Christmas, everybody. Ooh.
Another Boxing Day special.
Love the beer, cherish the game, the Brewtiful Game. Clink.
Full.